On today's solo adventure,
we are heading to Castle Rock, Kansas, which is one of the 8 wonders of Kansas. So these rock formations are made out of chalk, and that chalk comes from the deposits from an ancient inland sea, which we have talked about in a previous video about the inland sea that divided America, and especially Kansas, or mostly covered Kansas, in the late Cretaceous period, or mid to late Cretaceous period. And apologies in advance if my voice sounds extra disgusting today. I've been sick and I just can't stop coughing, so there you go. This is what you get. This is how I sound now. Now, I had a lot of fun at this little park. I was having so much fun pretending that I was a rock climber and climbing up and down the rocks. Do I recommend you doing that? No. Is it probably legal to do that? Probably not, since there is an issue of people climbing these chalk formations and causing them to like collapse. But you know what? We're rule breakers over here. We're breaking the rules. To all my fossil-loving friends out there who are watching this video, this place is a great place to find fossils, so make sure you keep your eyes to the ground and, you know, kicking dirt and rocks and whatever, and you might just find something interesting. And I hear you ask, Jordy, did you find any fossils? The answer is no, I did not find any fossils. And I hear another question coming in. Did you crawl into a fetal position and cry because you didn't find any fossils? And the answer to that is no, yes, no. Get off my back, God! So I decided to tell you guys for this special Easter solo adventure to tell you some Easter stories and some traditions that me and my family would do. One of them is Eastern, but we'll get to that, what that means. But for those of you who don't know, I grew up in the LDS Church, or Mormon, as they're more commonly known as. I am not a part of the church anymore, but my mom still very much is, and when I was much younger, she was a lot more intense about it. One of the weird special things that she believed in was that she didn't like Easter. And that doesn't mean she likes Easter. She likes the story and the resurrection of Jesus Christ. But she just doesn't like the Easter bunny, so I was not allowed to have Easter baskets as a kid or really celebrate Easter. About the most that we did for Easter is that we'd color eggs, and she would go out and hide them, and I would go find them, and I would hide them for my mother, and she would have to go out and find them. It was me who was like, we have to do both. We have to do it both ways. But yes, I remember getting into fights in grocery stores with my mom, begging her for an Easter basket, and she was like, "Yeah, it takes away from the sanctity of the resurrection of Jesus Christ." Yeah, so it's okay. We laugh about it now. I tease her about how she was a terrible mother and didn't allow me to get Easter baskets, but we're cool. We're cool. Everything's cool. But the other thing that we would do, we usually did both. We colored eggs and we did this other thing, was that we would go tripping, or better known as Easterin'. basically that we just went on trips. We'd go somewhere for Easter. We'd either go on a road trip, or when we moved to Utah to live with my grandmother, me and my mom and my grandmother, we'd just pick like an old random ranch road somewhere out in the middle of nowhere in Utah and just drive down it for like hours. Like we'd drive from Boulder, Utah to like Moab on this old abandoned road, and like if we got stuck out there we'd get screwed, but it was fun. I loved it. I have very fond memories. So Easter is usually the time where I go on a trip. That's when tripping season starts, is Easter. And that's when Eastern starts. A word to the wise for people wanting to come to this location after I've put all my arguments down on why this place is awesome and amazing. Be careful of the road. It is very rough. When I was traveling down it with Miss Scooty, you can see me pointing at her in the video. That's Miss Scoot Scoot. Her tummy got a little bit tickled going down the road, and I did not like that. She's fine, she lived, but her tummus got tickled a little bit.
Hello? Hello? Oh, it's cool in here.
In conclusion, I would give this place 4 stars. It's a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. It made me feel like a little kid again, climbing all over the rocks, having a nice picnic for Easter, which this would be a great place to go Easter and having a nice Easter picnic. But yes, I would highly recommend it. I hope you guys find fossils and tell me, what were your Easter traditions? What did you do with your family for Easter? Was your mom weird like mine and didn't like the Easter Bunny and had a vendetta against him? Or was yours normal? Let me know.
Anywhere you go, anywhere you go, you belong. Anywhere you say,